The alien frigate Serenith drifted slowly through the empty black of the uncharted sector. Its lights flickered, and small sparks shot from the damaged outer hull. Inside, Commander Lyra moved carefully along the corridor, her legs almost brushing the low ceiling. The ship was quiet, except for the low hum of failing systems. Lyra stopped at the main control room. She looked at the screens, scanning the status of the ship. Oxygen levels were dropping. The power was low. Communications were weak. She pressed a button and checked the automated distress signal. It had been running for hours. Hours. And the Galactic Council ships were supposed to come, but there was no sign of anyone. "How long do we have?" asked one of her officers, a thin alien with greenish skin named Torin. His voice was tight, nervous. "Not long," Lyra said softly. "We cannot wait forever." She touched the screen, and the distress call played again. The alien crew gathered around. The flickering lights made their shadows look strange on the walls. "Maybe they will come tomorrow," another officer whispered. Her name was Myra. Her eyes were wide and worried. "The Council always sends help. They cannot ignore us." Lyra shook her head. "Sometimes they do." She turned and walked down the hall, moving toward the observation deck. She looked at the black stars, the cold light of distant suns. It felt empty, almost like the whole galaxy had forgotten them. The crew sat quietly. Some tried to work on repairs, some just stared at the screens. Every now and then, a soft beep of the failing systems reminded them of how close they were to running out of time. An alarm suddenly rang. It was weak and crackling, almost lost under the hum of the main engines. Torin ran to the panel. "I do not understand." "There is a signal. A very weak signal. It is not from the Council. It does not match any known frequency." Lyra came closer. She frowned at the readings. "Put it on speakers." The room filled with static. Then, through the noise, a voice spoke. It was human. Clear, calm, but full of static. "This is the rescue ship Liberty out of New Detroit Station. We picked up your distress call. Hold on." The alien crew froze. They whispered to each other. Some stepped back. Humans were dangerous. No one trusted humans. Stories said they were wild, violent, and reckless. Some of the aliens had never seen one. Others had heard tales, but they thought humans were exaggerations or myths. "What is this?" Myra asked. Her voice shook. "Humans," Lyra said. Her voice was steady, though her heart beat fast. "They are real, and they are here." The aliens looked at each other, confused and frightened. Torin shook his head. "Why would humans come? They are not part of the Council. They are dangerous. Maybe they want to take us." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Maybe. But maybe they want to help. We have no choice. If the Council will not come, we can either die here." She tapped the screen. A calm human voice answered, "We can reach your location in a few hours. We bring medical kits, power units, and towing support. Are you ready for assistance?" Some of the aliens muttered, their fear growing. Myra whispered, "We should not trust them. They could destroy us." Torin gritted his teeth. "Or worse, they could take us prisoner. Experiment on us." Lyra faced the crew. "We have a choice. We can wait for the Council, and perhaps die alone. Or we can accept help from the humans. I do not know them. But if we do nothing, we will not survive." A silence fell over the room. The crew looked at each other. Fear, hope, doubt, and disbelief mixed in their eyes. Finally, Lyra pressed a button. Her voice was calm, but firm. "We accept your help," she said, "but we will be ready if you try to harm us." The human voice responded, steady and confident. "We are here to help. No one will harm you." Hours passed. Lyra tried to keep her crew calm. Some worked on repairs. Some tried to sleep, though it was impossible. They listened constantly for the sound of the human ship. Outside, space remained cold and empty. The stars did not move. The silence pressed against the ship like a heavy weight. Finally, a shadow appeared on the distant scanners. It was the human ship, moving fast through debris and radiation fields. Lyra's eyes widened. She had never seen technology like this. The ship was patched in many places. It looked dangerous, but it moved with purpose. Inside the human ship, Captain Alex Carter watched the screens. He was tall, with strong features and a calm expression. His crew moved around him. Pilot Megan Ross checked the thrusters. Medic Olivia Brown organized medical kits. Engineer Jake Harris ran diagnostics. And tech specialist Ethan Cole monitored communications. "We are approaching," Alex said. "Prepare to dock. These aliens may be afraid. Go slowly and show trust." The humans guided their ship through a tight debris field. Sensors warned them of radiation spikes and metal fragments. Automated systems would have turned back, but the humans stayed on course. The crew moved quickly but carefully, trusting their instincts. The Liberty docked. Clamps held it against the Serenith, locking the two ships together. The aliens watched from the main deck, their eyes wide. The docking airlock opened with a hiss. The humans moved in, carrying portable air scrubbers, medical kits, and emergency batteries. Lyra ordered her small security team to stay close, weapons ready. She wanted to see what these humans were truly like. Alex removed his helmet first. His face was calm, reassuring. He spoke slowly, showing no threat. "We are here to help." The alien stared. His body was strong, scars on his arms, hands thick and calloused. He wore heavy gear that looked patched in many places. Other humans followed, equally rough, but careful. Olivia, the medic, stepped forward with her kit. She spoke to the aliens in simple, calm words, showing respect. She asked permission before touching anyone. The aliens, hesitant at first, began to trust her little by little. Jake and Ethan moved to the main power node. They crawled through the narrow maintenance tunnels that most aliens refused to enter. Their tools looked simple, almost crude, but they worked. The lights flickered, but they did not stop. Lyra observed quietly. The humans shared their oxygen supply and food without hesitation. The aliens could not understand it. Humans were risking themselves to save strangers. Slowly, some of the fear in the crew began to shift. Suddenly, the ship trembled. A radiation flare from a distant star passed through the sector. Shields flickered. Alarms rang. The council ships would have retreated, but the humans stayed calm, using their shields to protect both ships. Lyra watched closely. She realized the humans were risking their lives for them, for strangers who had never met them. She felt a strange sense of hope. Maybe survival was possible. Myra came to Lyra, whispering, They could destroy us. Why are they risking so much?" Lyra shook her head. "They do not think like us. They take risks that we never would. Maybe that is why they survive in places others die." Hours later, partial power was restored on the Serenith. Medical care continued. Wounded crew received attention. Lyra spoke to Alex over the comm. "We do not know you. We do not trust easily. But, thank you." Alex's voice was steady, without pride or arrogance. "We do not need thanks. We do this because it must be done. Your lives matter to us." The aliens listened. They began to realize that humans were strange, unpredictable, dangerous, yes, but also willing to help where no one else would. The first night passed slowly. Lyra moved through the corridors, checking her crew. Some slept in shifts, others worked silently. She looked at the humans who were still active, still checking systems, still caring for the wounded. She felt a quiet respect. Humans were not perfect. They were not safe. But they were survivors. And in the darkness of this empty sector, survival was everything. The Serenith and the Liberty floated side by side. Two ships from different worlds, linked by choice, not law. The aliens waited, and the humans stayed. For the first time in many days, hope returned to the flickering lights of the Serenith. Lyra whispered to herself, looking at the stars outside, maybe humans are exactly what we need. And somewhere in the human ship, Alex Carter smiled quietly, knowing that they would do what they always did. Save lives, no matter the risk. The empty sector was no longer quite so silent. The human ship Liberty was docked securely to the alien frigate Serenith. Inside the alien ship, the crew watched the humans move with calm confidence. Their movements were strange to the aliens. The humans looked strong, but they moved carefully, as if every step was planned. Alex Carter, captain of the Liberty, called his crew together. "We need to divide tasks," he said. "Olivia, take care of the wounded. Jake and Ethan, check the power systems. Megan, stay with me and monitor the docking and outside sensors. We need to be ready for anything." Olivia, the medic, nodded. She gathered her medical kits and moved down the corridors of the Serenith. Wounded aliens were in small rooms, some moaning quietly, others staring at the ceiling. She spoke in calm, simple words, asking if she could help. Some aliens flinched at first, unused to human care. Slowly, they let her examine them. She worked quickly, but carefully. She cleaned burns, wrapped wounds, and gave liquids to dehydrated crew members. She explained each step, using gestures when the alien language made words hard to understand. The aliens were surprised at her patience. Humans did not rush. Humans did not demand. They helped. Jake and Ethan crawled into the narrow maintenance tunnels. The main power node of the Serenith was badly damaged. Sparks flew from broken wires. Smoke curled from overheated circuits. The aliens had tried to repair it, but they lacked the tools and the methods humans used. "This node is worse than I thought," Jake muttered. "We can fix it, but we have to take risks." Ethan nodded. "We have the right tools. We just need to be careful and move fast." They worked together, rewiring circuits by hand. The tunnels were tight, and heat pressed against them. Sweat ran down their faces, but they did not complain. Every now and then, a small spark jumped near their hands. Outside, the alien crew watched, nervous. They whispered among themselves. Torin muttered, "Why do they risk their lives so easily? One wrong move, and they could die." Lyra said nothing. She observed quietly. Slowly, she began to understand something about humans. Humans survived where others would fail. Humans acted where others would hesitate. Humans risked themselves for others, not for power or glory, but because it was the right thing to do. In the control room, Alex and Megan monitored the outside sensors. The debris field around the sector was dangerous. Radiation spikes appeared suddenly. Floating metal fragments drifted unpredictably. Council ships would have stayed far away. Humans were not bound by those rules. "We can navigate this," Megan said. "We just need to stay alert and trust each other." Lyra listened to their conversation. She realized that humans were different. Yes, but they were capable of thinking and acting in ways no council ship could. Humans adapted. Humans survived. Humans cared. Olivia finished her rounds and checked on the alien officers. She spoke quietly to Myra, the young officer who had been so frightened before. "You are doing well," she said. "Stay calm. Help comes when we work together." Myra nodded, still nervous, but calmer. She looked at the humans differently now. They were strange, but they were not enemies. Maybe, just maybe, they could trust them. Jake and Ethan returned from the tunnels. The main power node was partially restored. Sparks still flew, but the systems hummed with renewed energy. Lights flickered on in the corridors. Life support stabilized a little. "We did it," Jake said simply. Ethan wiped his brow and smiled. "It is not perfect, but it works." Lyra allowed herself a small smile. The humans had done what her crew could not. They had given the Serenith a chance to survive. Suddenly, the airlock doors hissed. More humans entered, carrying portable shield generators. They placed them near the weakest points of the hull. The aliens watched, amazed. These humans were willing to stay on a damaged ship, risking themselves further. Torin finally spoke aloud. Almost a whisper. They are really helping." "Why?" Lyra thought carefully. "They are from a world where no one waits for help. They learn to act, to survive. They help because they can, not because someone orders them to." The hours passed. The humans and aliens worked together. Medical care continued. Power systems stabilized. Small repairs were made. The crew began to see a new possibility. Survival. Then, a small tremor shook the ship. Alarms rang faintly. Outside, sensors picked up movement. Lyra's brow furrowed. She called the control room. "What is it?" Alex asked. "Something is approaching," Lyra said. "We cannot see clearly. It is fast, unidentified." The humans moved quickly. Megan adjusted shields. Jake checked the reactor. Olivia readied emergency medical supplies. Ethan monitored communications for any signals. The aliens watched in fear. Some whispered that the humans were reckless, that this danger could destroy them all. But Alex stayed calm. "We will handle it. Stay close. Follow instructions." The approaching vessel was confirmed as a pirate ship. It was large, heavily armed. It had tracked the Serenith's distress signal. Council ships would have told the aliens to surrender. Humans did not surrender. "We need a plan," Alex said. He turned to Lyra. "We fight together. We combine your systems with our ship. We can make a move they will not expect." Lyra nodded. She called the senior alien officers. "Listen carefully," she said. "We will not be passive. Humans have a plan. It is dangerous, but it may save us. We have no choice." The alien officers looked at each other, fear in their eyes. Some wanted to object. Others realized she was right. They had waited for help that never came. Now, humans offered a chance to survive. Alex and Megan went to the navigation deck. They studied the debris field. They pointed out paths the pirates would not expect. Narrow spaces and high radiation zones. The plan was risky. If they failed, both ships could be destroyed. Jake and Ethan checked every system again. They strengthened emergency shields, rerouted power, and tested engines. The humans would push systems beyond safety limits. Alien manuals said it was impossible, but humans were willing to try. Olivia trained the alien medics quickly. She showed them how to treat wounds in emergencies, how to manage shock, how to keep calm. The young aliens watched closely, learning techniques they had never imagined. As preparations continued, Lyra walked among her crew. She saw the fear, the doubt, and the growing trust. Humans were strange and dangerous, Yes, but they also inspired hope. Hours later, the pirate ship was close. Weapons were visible on the sensors. The aliens tensed. The humans moved calmly. Megan checked shields. Alex gave orders clearly and simply. Jake and Ethan monitored the engines, ready for sudden maneuvers. The tension in the air was thick. Lyra whispered to herself, "We will survive. If we trust them." The humans and aliens were ready. The first contact with the Deathworlders had begun. Together, they would face the unknown. And together, they had a chance. The sector was dark, cold, and dangerous. But for the first time, in many days, the Serenith was not alone. The humans and aliens waited. The stars outside shone cold and silent. The distant pirate ship approached, unaware that the crew of the Serenith and the humans of the Liberty had formed a bond that might save them all. And in that moment, hope grew. The fight for survival was about to begin. The alien frigate Serenith floated quietly next to the human ship Liberty. The pirates had not attacked yet, but sensors showed they were coming closer. Inside the Serenith, Lyra gathered her officers in the main control room. Her face was serious. Fear and tension filled the room. "We need a plan," Lyra said. "The pirates will not wait. They are strong and dangerous. We must act before they reach us." Toren, the green-skinned officer, frowned. "We are weaker than they are. We cannot fight them alone. Even the humans. I do not know if we can survive." Lyra looked at the humans docked to their ship. Alex Carter stood calmly in the corridor, watching the screens. Megan adjusted sensors and shields. Jake checked the engine output. Olivia organized emergency medical supplies. They all seemed fearless, even when danger was near. "They are not like us," Lyra said quietly. "They risk themselves to save others. They do not wait for permission. They do what is needed." Alex stepped forward. His voice was calm, clear. Lyra listened. She knew the council would never approve this. They would have said surrender, or retreat, or wait. But here, in this dangerous sector, waiting meant death. Humans acted. Humans survived. Humans helped. Olivia approached Myra, the young officer who had been afraid from the beginning. "You will help me treat injured crew during the fight," she said. "Watch and learn. Stay calm. Focus on the work. Fear does not help." Myra nodded. She followed Olivia quietly, trying to calm her racing heart. The young alien cadets also watched, nervous, but learning quickly from the human medic. Jake and Ethan went into the narrow maintenance tunnels again. They adjusted the engines and power systems for maximum output. The Liberty's engines were already strong, but they could push them further than most ships would dare. The humans could survive the G-forces that would kill most aliens. Toren and other officers whispered among themselves. "They are reckless," one said. "They will destroy us all." Lyra shook her head. "They are not reckless. They are survivors. We have no choice but to trust them." Hours passed. The pirate ship moved closer. Sensors showed weapons charged. The aliens could feel the tension through the hull. Outside, space looked calm, but it hid deadly danger. Alex and Megan studied the debris field. They pointed out paths that were narrow and dangerous. "The pirates will not expect this," Megan said. "If we move through here, we can strike from unexpected angles." Degrade. Seabrications, DB7Cs. Pilot 7Cs. Degraded. Lyra studied the plan. It was risky. Very risky. A wrong move. And both ships could be destroyed. But she knew the alternative was worse. Waiting meant death. "We will follow your lead," Lyra said. "But be careful. We cannot replace this ship. Olivia trained alien medics quickly. She showed them how to stabilize injuries, manage shock, and work under fire. The cadets learned quickly, impressed by the humans' calm and efficiency. Jake and Ethan ran final checks. They strengthened shields, rerouted power, and monitored engine heat. The humans were ready to push systems to the limit. Alien manuals said it was impossible. But humans could do it. They had to. The pirate ship was close now. The sensors showed its guns, powered and ready. The aliens shivered. Fear was everywhere. But the humans moved calmly, like danger was just another challenge. Alex addressed both crews. We fight together. We combine your systems with our ship. We use the debris field. We do what the Council will never do. We survive because we act, not because we wait. Lyra nodded. She called her officers together. Listen well, she said. We will follow this plan. It is dangerous. It may cost lives, but it is our only chance. The aliens studied the human ship. The humans moved efficiently. Megan piloted with precision. Jake and Ethan monitored engines. Olivia and her medics prepared for casualties. The aliens began to understand why humans were called Deathworlders. They survived where others would die. The pirate ship fired its first shots. Lasers streaked through space. Shields on the Serenith flickered. Alarms rang. The humans stayed calm. Megan adjusted shields and dodged debris, keeping the ship steady. Jake and Ethan pushed the engines beyond limits. The ship trembled under stress. Sparks flew, but they kept going. Olivia and the alien medics worked quickly, moving injured crew to safe areas. The pirates aimed for the Serenith's weak points. The humans used the debris field to their advantage, steering the ships in ways that confused the attackers. The alien crew had never seen such tactics. Council manuals would have said it was impossible. Lyra watched, amazed. The humans' bravery and skill inspired her crew. Fear remained, but hope grew. Maybe survival was possible. Alex gave orders calmly, pointing at screens. Shift engines. Move left. Use debris for cover. Keep shields up. Focus. Fire on engines and weapons. The aliens followed instructions, sometimes hesitantly, sometimes with growing confidence. Their systems, combined with the humans' speed and strength, created a plan that even the pirates did not expect. The battle was tense. Lasers streaked past the hull. Sparks flew inside the Serenith as small impacts hit. Alarms screamed. The aliens worked alongside the humans, stabilizing systems, helping medics, and following orders. Olivia ran between rooms, treating burns and cuts. She gave simple instructions to aliens, helping them work efficiently under fire. Stay calm, she said. Focus on the task. Panic will not save anyone. Myra helped an injured cadet. She followed Olivia's instructions carefully. Slowly, she felt herself growing stronger. Humans were teaching them not just survival, but courage. Jake and Ethan monitored the engines. We can push a little more, Jake said. We have to. The pirates are too close. Ethan nodded. It is risky, but we can do it. Humans can handle the G-force. Aliens. We have to be careful. The ships moved through debris, lasers flashing all around. The pirates fired repeatedly, but the combination of human skill and alien systems created confusion. The pirates' aim was off. Their shots hit debris or glanced off shields. Alex piloted through the debris, his hands steady. Megan assisted, adjusting shields and engines. The Liberty's engines roared, moving the ship in ways no council manual recommended. The humans were taking the most dangerous positions, knowing they could survive it. Lyra watched closely. Her crew was learning. They were starting to trust humans. Humans were not reckless monsters. Humans were dangerous, yes, but they were also allies. The pirate ship tried to ram the Serenith. Alex made a sudden maneuver. The human ship moved straight at the pirate vessel, then spun and dropped at the last second, scraping the enemy hull. The pirate ship was forced into the debris field. The aliens gasped. They had never seen such a move. It was reckless. It was brilliant. It was human. Lime. Olivia treated the injured as quickly as possible. Bruises, cuts, and burns were everywhere. Humans and aliens both worked together. The pirates were confused. Their attacks less effective. Finally, a final strike was made. Jake triggered the alien reactor to dump energy through the human ship's emitters. It was dangerous, unstable. Sparks flew. Heat rose. The ship trembled. But the pirates were crippled. Their weapons failed. Their engines sputtered. The attack was over. The sector was quiet again. The aliens walked through the corridors of the Serenith. They saw the humans' injuries, bruises, cuts, scratched arms, and strained muscles. Yet the humans were calm, tending to themselves as quietly as they tended to others. Torin looked at Lyra, shocked. They survived. They risked everything, and they are still alive. Lyra nodded. This is why humans survive. They act when others hesitate. They risk themselves to save strangers. We have never seen anything like this. The crew gathered in the main control room. The battle was over, but the adrenaline remained. Humans and aliens looked at each other, tired, but alive. Alex stood quietly. He looked at Lyra. We survived because we worked together, he said simply. Lyra smiled faintly. And maybe, just maybe, we have learned something about surviving in this galaxy. The stars outside were cold and silent. The Serenith and Liberty floated side by side. Both crews were bruised, tired, but stronger. A bond had formed between humans and aliens, forged in fire and danger. The pirates had been defeated, at least for now. The Serenith was damaged, but alive. The humans were injured, but alive. And the alien crew had learned something new. Humans were not monsters. They were survivors. Lyra looked at Alex and his crew. She whispered to herself, they are dangerous, but maybe exactly what we need. Hope had returned to the flickering lights of the Serenith.